Students, welcome to the second session of English Literature Class 10th, Short Stories, An Angel in Disguise by T.S. Arthur. So please take page number 77, paragraph number 3. The previous session we saw that the death of that poor mother and her 3 children became orphans. 3 children they were become orphans, and the elder one, John, about 12 years old, and the next one, Kate, about 10 to 11 years old, and the last one, Maggie, who was a handicapped one who fell down from the windows and damaged her spine. So let us continue. What is to be done with the children? That was the chief question now. The dead mother would go underground and be forever beyond all care or concern of the villagers. So this was the main concern of the villagers, what they have to do with the children, because they are orphans. But the children must not be left to starve. After considering the matter and talking it over with his wife, Farmer Jones said he would take John and do well by him. So already we saw that the oldest one, John, is a stout boy. He can manage to get his own living. So this fact is in the mind of Farmer Jones, and he was willing to adopt the eldest son, John. Now that his mother was out of the way. And next one, Mrs. Ellis, who had been looking out for a bound girl, concluded that it would be charitable in her to make choice of Cathy. So Mrs. Ellis, who was looking for a servant, the bound girl, a servant. So she immediately decided to adopt Cathy. So her purpose was to do the work of a servant in her house. So even though she was too young to be of much use for several years. So both the children were adopted by different people because they had their own purpose in their mind. I could do much better, I know, said Miss Ellis. But as no one seems inclined to take her, I must act from a sense of duty, expect to have trouble with the child. So she justified her part. So she could have done better, but since nobody was there to take care of these children, she, as a part of charity, she was taking care of Kate. For she is an undisciplined thing, used to having her own way. And also she justified that Katie is an undisciplined girl and she has her own way. Still, as a part of charity, she is going to adopt her. But no one said, I'll take Maggie. Pitying glances were cast on her wan and wasted form, and thoughts were troubled on her account. Nobody was ready to take Maggie because she was handicapped one. She cannot move her own. So somebody needs to help her if she wanted to move from her bed. She is bedridden. So nobody was ready to take Maggie with them. Mothers brought cast garments and removing her soiled and ragged clothes, dressed her in clean attire. So mothers from neighboring places, they brought old clothes and removed her soiled dress and put her on. Dressed her in clean attire. The sad eyes and patient face of the little one touched many hearts and even knocked at them for entrance, but none opened to take her in. So many people felt pity on her appearance, but nobody was ready to adopt her, who wanted a bedridden child. Take her to the poorhouse, said a rough man, of whom the question, what is to be done with Maggie, was asked. Somebody asked what is to be done with Maggie. So then that person will take her to the poorhouse. So when it is asked, then he answered that she has to be taken to the poorhouse. Nobody is going to be bothered with her because since she is a handicapped one, nobody is going to take her, adopt her. So better place is a poor house. Then the poor house is a sad place for a sick and helpless child, answered one. So one of the villagers told her, the poor house is not a good place. So that's actually is correct. That poor house is not a good place for a sick child. The poor house is a sad place for a sick and helpless child, answered one. Then immediately came the reply. It is a sad place for your child and my child. A child who does not have anyone, for that child it is a better place. So that is, in a way, it may be correct. For my child and for your child, our house is a sad place, but for a nobody's child are orphan, so it is a safe place. But for is brat, it will prove a blessed child. Brat means a child behaving very badly. So such a child who is behaving very badly, for this child it is a blessed place. She will be kept clean, have healthy food, and be doctored, which is more than can be said of her past condition. So for this child it will be a blessed change. So what are the benefits she is going to get there? That she will be kept clean, having healthy food, and she will get a good medical facility, which is more than can be said of her past condition. So when her mother was alive, even at that time she was not getting this kind of facilities. So that facility will be provided, will be given to her in the poorhouse. So what will be the facilities she is going to get in poorhouse? She will be kept clean, she will have healthy food, above all she will get a better medical facilities. There was reason in that, but still it didn't satisfy. The day following the day of death was made the day of burial. A few neighbors were at the miserable hovel. Hovel means a small dirty house. But none followed the dead cart as it bore the unhonored remains to its proper grave. So some neighbors assembled to her house because it was the day of her burial, but nobody was ready to follow the dead body because it carried the remains of an unholy person. Farmer Jones, after the coffin was taken out, placed John in his wagon and drove away, satisfied that he had done his part. Miss Ellis spoke to Kate with a hurried air, bid your sister goodbye, and drew the tearful children apart. Scarcely their lips had touched in a sobbing farewell. So both of them, Farmer Jones and Mrs. Ellis, as soon as the wagon had been away, the dead body had been taken away, they took the children away very fast. Hastily others went out, some glancing at Maggie, and some resolutely refraining from a look, until all had gone. She was alone. Now nobody was there. All were hastily running away from their heart, and now the child is alone. Just beyond the threshold, Joe Thompson, the wheelwright, paused and said to the blacksmith's wife, who was hastening off with the rest. So now, then one person, Joe Thompson, the wheelwright. The wheelwright is a person who makes and repairs wheels and wheel vehicles. So that person, Joe Thompson, the wheelwright, he paused there and said to the blacksmith's wife, she was also running away. So he said that it is cruel thing to leave her so. It is very cruel if you are leaving this child like this. Then she told, then take her to the poorhouse. She will have to go there. And said the blacksmith's wife, springing away and leaving Joe behind. So blacksmith's wife was also not caring much. She told, if you have that much pity and concern to her, and take her to the poorhouse. For a little while, the man stood with a puzzled expression. Then he turned back and went into the hovel again. Again, Joe Thompson came back to the hovel. Maggie, with a painful effort, had raised herself to an upright position and was sitting on the bed, straining her eyes upon the door out of which all had just departed. A vague terror had come into her thin white face. When Maggie observed all the villagers are going away, a vague, unclear terror appeared into her thin and white face, because she was sad and she was about to realize that all are leaving her alone. Since she is a handicapped one, since she cannot move alone, so nobody is going to adopt her. So there appeared a vague terror on the face of Maggie. "Oh, Mr. Thompson," she cried out, catching her suspended breath, "don't leave me here all alone." So she pleaded to Mr. Thompson, "Don't leave me alone." Though rough exterior, Joe Thompson, the wheelwright, had a heart, and it was very tender in some places. He liked the children. Joe Thompson liked the children and was pleased to have them come to his shop, where sleds and wagons were made or mended for the village lads without a draft on their hotel expenses. So from this it is clear that wheelwright liked children, because he repaired and made sledge and wagons. He repaired and made or mended for the village children without any expenses, or entirely free. So dear children, with this we conclude the second session of our English literature short stories, An Angel in Disguise. Bye.